What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, the communication within XDefiant has been a little less recently, right? But, it's understandable. They've been really hard at work. They got netcode fixes to change up. They got Season 3 planned ahead, and they got to get that, all together. So the developers have been really just, they've been hyper-focused. Heads down and just work hard. It's not really much time to, do anything else, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. And you have to keep in mind, they got a pretty small team as well. It's not like it's thousands and thousands and thousands of people working on this game, giving, the top devs some time to communicate with us. No, a lot of people need to be hands on deck right now. So it's understandable. But, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Rubin, even through all of the crap that's going on right now, and, a lot of fixes that need to be done, and they're, like I said, they're working hard, he still comes out and gives us some communication and chats it up with the overall community. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you guys something. In today's video, he covers a couple of really crucial points and things that I have discussed in the past, which, I'm really happy about because it's going to change everything around for the better. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, guys. We are like, 20-something subs away from 50,000 subscribers. I don't know. Maybe we already hit it, but by the time of this video, we did not hit it just yet. But we're so ridiculously close, of course. If you guys enjoy the content that you see here, don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And I am going to be live streaming today over on Twitch, a little bit more XDefiant. So if you guys are interested in any of the live streams, you want to chat it up with me, or even hop into the open lobbies that we host, all the time, by all means, tune into the stream. I got a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now with that being said, let's hop right into the topics of today's video. Now, to start off, once again, when XDefiant put out the post saying that the update is coming through, Clouds put out a response on Twitter saying, "Absolute W. Haters can keep hating, but the XDefiant team is one of the most responsive teams out there that actually listens to its community feedback and take action steps without forcing useless updates and in-game purchases down gamers' throats." Like, honestly, Clouds is just spitting facts right now. Absolutely spitting facts. But of course, as always, we're talking about Twitter here, ladies and gentlemen. We get a response by Joseph saying, "And still can't fix the biggest problem since the beta. Netcode." Oh, God, the amount of times I have to see this just blows my mind. And you know what's funny about this, ladies and gentlemen? You know what's funny about this? You could tell who plays the game and who doesn't play the game. Because if you play the game, you know that the netcode from day one has been slowly improving with almost every, other update here when it comes to XDefiant. Comparing this game to, from where it is now to where it was in the past, you can't say they haven't worked on it, but it's still people like this saying, "And still can't fix the biggest problem since the beta, netcode." But thank God we have people like Mark Rubin to go ahead and set him straight, saying, "Netcode has been improved and will continue to be improved. Netcode is an issue that all multiplayer games have. This is not something unique to XDefiant, but as a new IP, we are starting at the beginning rather than having more than 20 years on the same engine. And even with 2 decades of work, there are still netcode issues in their game. Point being, we hear you, and regardless of where other games are with their netcode issues, we have and will continue to improve netcode as best as we can." Like, I feel so bad for Mark. Well, first and foremost, Mark, thank you for, stating this stuff. I can't express how thankful I am to have devs like you continuously spew the same stuff over and over and over again, because I can only imagine how obnoxious and time. Well, actually, I do, because I have to do it in the comment section every day with the idiots who have to spew nonsense about my name every single day, and I have to come in and set everything straight and say, this is BS, this is crap, I have proof of this, and that, and then the next day comes around and you get the same crap, right? It's like, it doesn't matter how many times Mark will, present this information and try to explain or describe this, there's always going to be some loser coming in the next day saying, "Oh, well, netcode," and then, he's going to respond again, and then the next day, "Oh, well, netcode," and then he'll respond again, and the next day, it just goes on repeat. Doesn't matter how many times he says it, someone else out there is just going to have the brain size of a pea. But it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Every single game in the frickin' world has netcode problems. I personally do not get why XDefiant gets all the crap. you know? And I don't bring this to the table with any other game. You see, when I critique games, I critique it off of what the developers are doing, okay? I understand netcode is something that is going to be a continuous issue. And a lot of the times, these bigger games don't have the control to pick what type of servers they want or, you know, the netcode. You know, that comes down to the publisher. So a lot of these developers just work with what they can get here. So it doesn't matter what game I play. Typically, the netcode isn't really, you know, my main priority. I want it to be fixed, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to sit here and bash devs every single 5 seconds over it. But there are a lot of hypocritical individuals out there, people who will just come at the necks of the XDefiant developers for netcode, but won't acknowledge the problems in any other game. Like, are you stupid? Do you have a problem? Like, are you extraordinarily slow? Like, I just can't fathom how people can think this way. Battlefield always has netcode issues. Halo always has netcode issues. Call of Duty always, every year, has netcode issues. Why aren't we bringing up those topics, but we are so hyper-focused on XDefiant? Please tell me. It took Halo over a year to fix the netcode, ladies. And you know what? Let me say that one more time. It took Halo over a year to fix the netcode in Infinite, okay? The XDefiant devs, we're almost done, and it hasn't even been a full year yet. Like, these guys have a fraction of the teams that are out there for these AAA publishers, right? They have a fraction of those teams. Yet and still, they're pumping out these updates faster, more consistently, better communication, and cleaner updates, actually giving us real improvements to the netcode. And on top of that, just like Mark said, they're doing this from the ground up, okay? It's not like all the other games I listed, Halo, Battlefield, COD, where they're working off of, you know, almost previous titles, so they have something to work off of to put it in a better spot. No, XDefiant, literally everything that you see in this game was coded from the ground up, okay? Everything. I don't think anybody really understands how complex that is, and for anybody who still is that obnoxiously stupid, I hope that you guys attempt to do what these developers are doing, because I would love to see your progression throughout all of this stuff here, but I don't want to ramble you guys' ears off about the netcode this whole time. I want to move on to the next bit of information, which I think is probably the most important bit of information in this video here, and that is regarding the weapon XP. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, they basically upped the weapon XP, or, you know, not up the weapon XP, but, you know, you have to grind some more experience to get the final camo for a lot of your weapons. I think, it was like 1,500 to 2,000 or something like that. Not saying, like, you know, like 1,500. No, I'm saying, like, before you needed 1,500, now you need 2,000. So it's only like, you know, 500 XP difference, but still, a lot of people were kind of salty about this when they incorporated objective XP to, you know, translate over to weapon XP, and they did this. But you can see here over on Twitter, Lunich said, "Why did y'all add more XP per weapon level? Nobody wants it like this. Literally undid adding objective XP. Please change it back." And Mark said, "I agree. That change kind of snuck in, but looking to revert." Honestly, I don't know how it snuck in. I really don't know how it snuck in, but I am extraordinarily happy that Mark agrees and that they are going to be going ahead and changing that around. Because right now, the more I play XDefiant, I'm starting to notice the objective XP. At first, I didn't really notice too much, but it's definitely hitting nicely. You can actually see one of the developers' responses. This is from Crayola putting up a post over on Reddit where actually, you know, if you guys are curious, I never do this because I hate Discord with a passion. But apparently, if you want to really see a lot of the devs, you know, give details about this game, you got to go ahead and go to their Discord server, which I think I'm going to have to do at some point in time. But Crayola is in the Discord server, and he went ahead and saw this posted up. And this is confirmation that it is indeed, you know, a one-to-one scale. There's not really anything different when it comes to converting the XP from objective XP to weapon XP. The only difference is that they increased how much XP you need to complete the camo grind. So it's no difference. It's not like, you know, if you go play TDM and you get a streak or something like that, well, maybe you do get more XP. I don't know. But technically, you should get the same amount of XP. There's absolutely no multipliers. There's nothing different besides, you know, putting on a weapon booster for, you know, like double XP or just a weapon booster in general and grinding out XP that way. But if you have nothing equipped, it should be 1-1. But again, I'm extremely happy about this. Not because, you know, we're going through all these changes with, you know, all the XP rates and trying to get everything fixed, but just simply because they are responding and they're interacting with us. If you watched my video from a handful of days ago, you guys know exactly what I was worried about, but it's very nice to see the developers stepping back up and addressing these situations and being responsive and active with these changes. I'm still looking for this from Treyarch as well. I'm really curious if they're going to handle the recon perk. You know, if they completely revamp the recon perk in Black Ops 6, I think that Treyarch will have pretty good communication as well. But so far, XDefiant devs, they're unmatchable. They're untouchable. Like, I cannot compare them to any other dev team because I just can't think of a dev team that goes into such detail and is so willing to change things around for their overall community. But guys, last one right here, another post by Cloud saying, Mark, quick question. Are most of these issues being worse for console players and optimizing for console? Most of the issues that get brought up with low player count, lobby disconnect, bullet recognition, etc., I don't see them happening on PC. And I notice this as well. I really do notice this as well. I see it all the time in my comment section, people saying they don't witness the same, experience as me, and I ask what platform they're on, and typically they're on console. But Mark responded saying, it doesn't seem that it's platform specific, which points to something that I mentioned in the past, which is if your internet is super strong, clean, etc., i.e. no packet loss and consistent ping, then you probably have a great time in our game. But if you have any packet lost or irregular ping, this is where we are trying to improve. So in any multiplayer game, when you get packet loss or irregular ping spikes, the game has to handle it. And that is the area we are currently focused on addressing. That right there is going to be a massive improvement for XDefiant. Don't get me wrong. The netcode changes are going to be huge, and I can't wait for the big netcode, update. But when I scroll through my comment section and, I'm talking to a lot of people, it really does seem like like 9 times out of 10, it seems like it doesn't just come down to the netcode, but the connection. People's, whether it's their internet or just the connection between their server and what they're trying to connect to, the server that they're trying to connect to within XDefiant here, the game itself. And that is causing huge issues for a lot of individuals, whether it's lag spikes, packet burst, so on and so forth. And again, like Mark explained, a lot of other games have different ways to handle this, but XDefiant, I'm assuming, isn't there just yet. They've been, again, they're taking steps towards a perfected game. But this right here is finally going to be on the developer's priority list. And I'm very excited to see what they do with this because this should improve the overall experience for a lot of players. Because again, like I said, I think that the biggest issue a lot of the time comes down to the connection of the match that people are in, causing a lot of individuals to have just a really bad, rough experience. So if this could be improved, I think the overall game is going to feel solid. Imagine this improvement plus a netcode improvement and then the audio being back to where it is after the previous update we just got. I mean, shoot. I just can't wait to see how this game is going to turn out in the future. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys. Mark Rubin, again, I appreciate you for coming out on Twitter, showing a little bit of love to the community, filling us in on what you guys are trying to prioritize, what the future is going to be looking like, and also setting some losers straight. It's always awesome to see you do that. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And like I said earlier, if you guys want to check out my live stream, I will be live today over on Twitch. You guys find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.